Good morning. Good morning. Can you guys hear me okay? If you can hear me just fine, let me know in the chat, please. Good to see you, Purple Haze, Metal Mama, Julianne, Tattoo. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Doris. Thank you, Metal. Hey, Piper. Good morning, Leslie. Adelaida. Good to see you. Silas. Good morning, Doris. Welcome in, Bird Blue. One more fall. Welcome. Jari, how are you? Kiwi. Mustang. Wanda from Missouri. What's going on, Tattoo? Indy is good. He's getting big. He's a good dog, too. He listens very well. And when he gets in trouble, he'll face his punishment like a man. I really respect that. What's up, Otto? What's going on, Jerry? She Warrior. Happy Friday, everybody. Okay, guys, this is the question of the day. Getting very close to the trial of Richard Allen. He's being accused of murdering Abby and Libby, who we've come to learn a whole lot about. They probably taught us more about ourselves than what we've learned about them, at least in my case. So I thank them for that. But the question of the day, where are we? Where are you? Me personally, I see Richard Allen and a KK connection. Something to deal with online catfishing, CSAM, inappropriate relationship, maybe even with between Richard Allen and Abby. Because it's my understanding that Keegan Klein was introduced to Libby by somebody that he was already catfishing. So he already had his target. So if Keegan Klein is moving from this target and communicating with Libby now, because that part has been made public, the communication between Anthony Schatz and Liberty. Where does that leave Abby? There's rumors of her having a phone. So is that the big piece that's been kept secret from the public? Law enforcement kept this part of the case hidden, or maybe they didn't even know until recently. If they don't have a phone that was recovered and they don't know about hidden social media that Abby has established, how are they going to know what's going on with it? If she was provided with the burner phone from somebody who was grooming her, you have Anthony Schatz communicating with Libby, and then you have an unknown profile communicating with Abby. Just a thought. But I am curious to know where you guys are. With my answer, it appears that I'm still as lost as I was from day one. Bird Blue, good to see you. Hope you're having a great day. He wants to tease me. Oh, please me. Yeah, he's a very pleasing dog. He seems very loyal. Welcome in, Don Spain. Good to see you. What's going on, Willow? Too much money in the books and movies for a plea deal now. No, you're going to see a delay in the trial, and then you're going to see a plea deal. See, that's the problem. Everybody gets removed from the reality of it all. They get locked into that Hollywood mind frame. That's really what's happened to the majority of people who have taken an interest in the Delphi case. They've completely removed themselves from the reality that Abby and Libby were brutally murdered by somebody who is most likely living not too far from them and possibly stalking them online and in reality and in real life. But we've talked about it so much. We speculated about it so much. We've watched mainstream media cover the case. We've watched YouTuber after YouTuber dilute factual information and misconstrue the factual information. Now to mix in defense teams sending people out on wild goose chases. It's been convoluted to the point where you feel like you're in a movie. But you have to protect yourself from that. You have to remember that Abby and Libby were two young girls. Think about it. Her big sister, Liberty, is getting married, having kids. Imagine what that would have meant to Libby. The kind of aunt she would have been. I think she would have been incredible. Her and Abby taking care of that little baby. That's all gone. What's up, Ziggy? Christine? GP, what's up? I missed Cindy and V Marie. Welcome in, guys. Leslie says Facebook rumors mentioned Abby's phone. Rumors also mentioned KA having Abby's phone. I don't believe it. Well, I think that was just a theory. People were trying to figure out what brought up that tip narrative. How did they find the needle in a haystack? Well, in my opinion, it was whatever was going on with Keegan Klein, directly or indirectly. I think he provided the name Richard Allen. They hadn't heard that name because the name on the file was Richard Whiteman. And Richard Allen may have even perjured himself during that, providing little bits of misinformation here and there. Knowing that later on, I'm telling you, if this is him, he's a very proactive thinking type of person. That's one thing I'm definitely learning about him, if he's the guilty person. The fact that he came forward, spoke to law enforcement early, knowing damn well that they would come knocking on his door. And if he had any hope of getting away with this, it's extremely important for him to be proactive. And a lot of them get that stuck in their mind. And it brings them forward. They come talk to the media. They try to control the narrative. But they don't realize that it's bringing them under the radar. But I think with Richard Allen, it's a little bit different. He was already on the radar of the witnesses. And whoever he told he was going to be there that day, or whoever he knew would find out he was there that day, was extremely important for him to go ahead and come forward and say that he did in fact see those girls that saw him. Thank you, Cindy. Willis says, I personally feel Richard Allen is a lot smarter and much more evil than any of us could imagine. Again, my opinion only. Well, the way I look at it, Willow, is that he could be. I think it would be very foolish of us to act like we know this guy. Because anything that we do know about him, or anything that I've learned through my own investigation, is that this gentleman is extremely quiet. He grew up in a prominent family in Mexico. The dude was the principal of the only school there. And all the kids knew that. Everybody that I talked to that grew up with Richard Allen said he's the quietest person that they've ever met, hands down. So to me, that's going to make it even a more of an uphill battle trying to figure out who this guy is, when the people who are the closest to him, how the hell are they going to know what's going on in his head? The dude's just a stone. Getting blood from a turnip. CJ, welcome. I believe Allen was on law enforcement's radar sooner than we thought. Well, I definitely think it's also foolish for us to think we know everything. And that goes to a lot of you out there who have a lot of information that we don't have yet. Just because you have a little bit of this hidden pieces of information, that doesn't mean that you have the entire story. And that's a big mistake a lot of these online sleuths make. Okay, I've done this. I've done a great job on my investigation. I've uncovered these pieces of information. And I'm going to go with this theory based on this. And everybody's going to think I'm crazy, but wait until they see, I'll show them. And then boom, Richard Allen gets arrested. And they're like, shit, I was wrong. So that can always happen when you don't have the full picture. Kiwi, how's it going? So heinous. It could happen to anyone's children. I can't even imagine the pain the family feels. I couldn't even imagine. Good evening, Rain Dancer. How are you? Yeah, Willow, that's a good point. The dude was prepared. He covered his face, he concealed his identity. Now, did he come to that trail knowing that he wanted to do someone harm and it didn't really matter who? Even if the opportunity was even almost right, he was that motivated. To me, that just doesn't seem realistic. If that was the case, he wouldn't have been all layered up. I don't know. It's just very strange. I just don't think people think that way. It's more like these predators are driving by and they stumble across a certain situation, like a kid alone, nobody around. So they stop. Hey, you live around here? Oh, no, I'm just walking home from school. And then the creep gets out and springs as their attack. To me, that's what I think of when I think of lone wolf, opportunistic. Nothing's planned out. It's just some kind of impulse that's been haunting these people their entire lives, and then eventually it goes too far. To me, this is well thought out, planned, almost like an ambush. It has the writings of a trap. Everything about it is a trap. From parking to the pretty much the furthest place you can park from where you plan to kill somebody. Yeah, CJK. If he's guilty of this and he's allowed this circus to happen, I mean, there's zero remorse there. Zero. Shiwari says, I kind of thinking on the same line as Sleuth, but I think someone was threatening to tell KA about an inappropriate relationship Richard Allen was having with one of the girls. I mean, that's a good theory, but I don't see one piece of information that would lead me to believe that. Because if it's another girl, that means that she would come forward and tell them, right? Like a guy that I'm dating just killed my friend. Or at least somebody would know and mention that. Because if Liberty knows about one of her friends dating Richard Allen, then somebody else does. It's not just going to be Libby and Abby, in my opinion. So we had the sleepover that took place on February 3rd. That was the introduction to Anthony Shots. 1 week later, Abby resets her phone after another sleepover, where apparently they were up all night. So if she's deleting her phone right, a week prior and just a day or two after meeting Keegan Klein, why? Why is she deleting her phone and then all of a sudden Anthony Shots is a part of the murder investigation? It almost seems connected. Dor says the quiet ones are the ones you have to watch. Evil runs very deep in thought. Well, I just figured if we're dealing with the fantasy driven killer, you think that that person would fit a profile of a very quiet individual, you know? And I get that from Keegan Klein too. He seems like a very fantasy driven criminal. To me, he prefers his fantasy. He doesn't want any he has very low self-esteem. He has low self-esteem, so he's happy to engage and interact through the catfishing. That doesn't mean that if him and Richard Allen are connected, that that's how Richard Allen is. He could be extremely confident, and his fantasies have to do with real life interactions. Cindy says, I still think the second sketch looks like Richard Allen. Honestly, they all do. They all kind of resemble him. Yeah, and it's funny that the eyes and the nose were really the only thing that was really the witnesses really got a good look at. Like, yeah, I saw his eyes and nose really well. And in every sketch, that's what matches the best with Richard Allen are the eyes and the nose. Because remember, he had his lower face covered. And on the bridge, I'm pretty sure that's what you can see underneath his chin. I don't know if he has a t-shirt wrapped around his face or a scarf or a bandana. Hey Jody, what's up? TGIF. Also, the possibility of a thrill kill. Richard Allen and Keegan Klein coming up with this idea. GP says, the real hell is they drew a picture for us and it's not the right picture because nobody really knows what happened. And I think it is a good question. If the DNA that you have is like an absolutely not a match for Richard Allen, and yet they don't have any other suspect, I think they would have to let him go. I think if I was sitting on a jury, I would have to, even with the bullet. Be like, you guys have this DNA here and you believe it's the killer's DNA, but it doesn't match Richard Allen? And you don't know who it belongs to? They would have to have something like an article of clothing that didn't belong to Richard Allen that was also left at the crime scene with this other killer's DNA on it. Proof that that person was there. Otherwise, it could just be some random person. Gail says this case has been too many people with their hands on this case. Too many police, lost tips, too many suspects. Mercy. How sad. Too much. Wrong media. Mustang says, I know of creators blocking people over disagreeing with their BG looks. Really stupid now. Yeah. Nobody wants to talk with me, that's for sure. No, Cindy, I haven't. Well, at least not in like a week or two. Violet, if you're out there, hit us up. Trying to talk to text. Eyes on the road. Don't make me do it.
Give me all you got! Vincent, give me all you got! I swear, me and my brother.
What's up, Melissa? Jody says, I often wonder if Richard Allen was maybe just the delivery person of the girls. Yeah, I mean, it could be. But how? Why? I feel like the prosecution feel that they can 100% prove that he was definitely the guy on the bridge. I wonder how they plan to do that. I think they'll need a little bit more than the timeline, the witnesses, and the video and audio. Even though I think that the audio sounds just like him. Closest match I've heard. And he looks like the guy on the video, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Maybe all of that mixed with the bullet. It's definitely convincing enough for me, but if there's other things like DNA pointing to another suspect, like maybe a drop of blood or something, or pieces of the suspect's skin underneath the fingernails. But I have a feeling that the confusion with the DNA is that it's not 100% match, but it doesn't exclude. How far from the bridge were the girls found? Not far at all. Good to see you, Beach Fairy. Yeah, it's too bad. Hey, which quarter mile? Yeah, probably. That sounds about right. Maybe not even that far. Could be. Cindy, I wish it would go to trial. I just don't believe that it will. I want a trial. There needs to be a trial. I just don't think it will. I don't think we're going to go through all of this. If he wanted a trial, we would have been already done with it at this point. We'd be hearing closing arguments right now. This guy was arrested October of 2022. It's April of 2024 now, and we're still not in a trial. And I'm still expecting at least one more delay. I just don't think it was ever part of the plan for this defense team to take him. It was almost like, Richard, let us try something. Let us do what we do. And if we're unsuccessful, then you tell us what you want. But I'm telling you right now, I think we might be able to get you off of this, maybe even on a technicality. Remember, Baldwin and Rosie didn't pick this case. They were picked. They were selected. Yeah, Mustang. Well, what he did, it almost appears as if he did his recon that day. He backed in, hide his plates, and kind of hide his vehicle from anybody that's really going towards the trail, and a little bit from those who are leaving on 300. Right? Nobody really got a good view of his vehicle. I think that was by design. So not only that, he steps out of a vehicle that he just backed in trying to conceal the plates, and he's layered up. I'm thinking he has on a t-shirt, a hoodie, and then maybe either a holster or a bag, a shoulder bag that he has over one shoulder. And then he has this blue windbreaker type jacket over all of that, zipped up with a scarf. And also, it looks like he's wearing like a beanie, one of those beanies with a little, a small cap or a brim. I used to have one of those. They were kind of stylish around that time. It's either that or the one he's wearing just a month and a half before the murders at the pool hall at JC's, that little gray one. It kind of has a little brim on it. But yeah, why was he all layered up like that with his gun and a knife? If he was crazy, he probably would have attacked those other girls. He could have killed all three of them with that gun. But he didn't even pay any attention to them. It's like, get out of my way. I have business I have to take care of. Those damn girls are going to the bridge. I'm going to the bridge. I'm going to take care of this. Face covered, gets out there, realizes nobody's on the trail. He's thinking, perfect. Where are they? Where are these girls? It's almost as if he knew they would be dropped off right there at the Mears parking lot. Maybe he saw some social media posts Like, hey, we're almost there. Don't leave. We're going to get dropped off at the Mears parking area. He's like, okay, I'm going to go wait at this bench right here. They won't even know who I am because I've been stalking them online. He may have even walked up to him and said, oh, what, you here to meet your underwear model of a boyfriend? They're like, what the what? How does he know that? Wait, is he talking about Anthony? Like, that's super creepy. Like, they might have even been piecing it together. Hey, No Effects Punk 99 in the building. Fran. Wants the death penalty. She said no, she wants him healthy for a long, long time in prison. CJK says, if only there was more to the video, not just the audio, but the visual. Maybe there is. Maybe there is a better look at the body, but I doubt it. I don't think there's much more to that video. I think there is a just some terrified children. And there might even be sounds of an assault. Hey, Christine, reminds me of Thomas Bruce. He had two sides. He took a plea. They dropped two charges. The prosecutor said he showed no remorse, and there's a special place in hell. We don't know the other side of Richard Allen. Yeah, I get similar vibes from Thomas Jerome Bruce. You know, very similar. He had his a secretive life, and it seems like any time that he was going through any trouble, like a bankruptcy, lost job, he would lash out. Now, through my investigation, we've uncovered a lot of stuff that was going on with Richard Allen. 2016 was not a very good year for him. What's up, Mr. J? Maybe the reason Richard Allen got all skinny and sick after his arrest was he was a pill popper and didn't then have access to his drugs and was going through withdrawals. Well, what's very strange is in December of 2016, the photos that we have from his wife's Facebook, he looks very similar. He's very skinny. He looks like he's on drugs. Either that or he's just on a 100% beer diet, but it doesn't look like that. To me, after the crimes is when he got started drinking heavily. He got the beer belly, he got the double chin, and started growing that weird goatee. Different person altogether. Before the crimes and after the crimes, Richard Allen is completely different. Hey, good to see you, Jamie. Thank you, Leslie. Justice for Libby and Abby. Oh, that reminds me. Let me put my banner up. There we go. So let me see if I can find some examples. Okay, we'll use this one as a before. Where's this mugshot? Okay, we can use that one. Okay, let me share my screen. I think these two will work. So here we have a before. Kind of looking like the old sketch, right? With the stubble all over the face. Welcome in, Jessica. Says, I feel Bree W was the target and Abby was mistaken for her from a distance, and we went through with the fantasy. Well, it's just strange. Once you hear other content creators mention things, you'll just start to hear people mention it. So nobody talked about the whole Bree Wilbur thing until Ruckus mentioned it. So if I were you, I would do a little digging, try to find out where that information is coming from. Yeah, I'm having a good day. Hope you're having a good day, Beach. Yeah, it was like 100 yards. Really not that far. Rain Dancer says there will be a trial. I don't think so. I mean, what are they going to go in there and say? I mean, they're guaranteed to lose. If they're going to go in there with some story that they can't back up just to try to create a little bit of doubt while the prosecution's dropping legitimate facts, scientific evidence, like it's over for them. Then they better have a damn good alibi. Right? You said you left at 1:30, bud. Why are these witnesses telling us that they saw you coming? Are these the girls that you saw? No, I saw other girls. You know, all the bullshit would just be on full display. There's no way they're going to trial. In my opinion, right? Do I hope that they do? Yeah, hell yeah, I do. I just think that that's the end of the line for Richard Allen. Day one of that trial will be a plea deal, if not sooner. Hey, what's up, Grunge Truck? I think we'll be surprised with just how much the police knew. Yeah, for all we know, there's another phone. Libby or Abby was actually the target. They have more of a connection to Keegan Klein, maybe through an alternative profile. You know, Anthony Shots and whatever Richard Allen was using. And maybe he's smart enough not to access that kind of stuff at his home. Maybe he goes and hangs out with Keegan Klein or has a burner phone that he doesn't even keep at his residence. Keeps it at a CVS locked up somewhere or hidden. Anna says some people wear masks while hiking because of allergies or use scarves and bandanas for the same reason. Not in February. I don't know. No, I don't agree with that, Anna. Maybe if you're riding your bike or you're walking on a dirt road and everything's blooming and there's pollen in the air. Plus, we don't see Richard Allen covering his face in any of his hiking videos. Yeah, I think a little over 100 yards, Willow. Hey, Candace, what's up? Welcome in. Yeah, I can agree with that, Grunge. I agree with you. Stay pressed. You delusional beasties. It's a funny name. Yeah, they were picked by Goal. She picked him to be part of the conspiracy and they stabbed her in the back. They decided to be for the side of real justice and fight to free Richard Allen. They rebelled against the conspiracy. The two great men. I think we're going to find out they exploited Indiana and laundered taxpayer monies into the pockets of their acquaintances. I don't blame them. Don't hate the player, hate the game. She is the supreme Odinist. She's hiding in plain sight. Wait till they find out that Nick has an Odinism tattoo. They're going to shit a brick. I guess she set them up to fail. She's their patsy. Or no, they're working with Gull and they're there to ensure that Richard Allen goes down for the crime. They're there to make it look like they're putting up a fight, but really they're in on it to make sure that he is convicted for the crime. I'm joking, of course. What's up, farmer? I like to go hiking. I've never covered my face and I have horrible allergies. Now, when I go bike riding on a dirt road, I might cover my face. Well, at least my eyes. Anna says, I think if we ever learn the truth about this crime, it will be something far different than what we have concocted to date. Do you think it'll be more complex or something more simplistic? I think it'll be something more simplistic. Well, I mean, we know where the bodies were found. We just need the measurement from the bridge to the crime scene. Daisy, he was on a mission. Yeah, that's the vibes I'm getting. I mean, why is he covered up? Why is his face covered up? Why is he backing in? Perfect time and place, weather, everything was perfect. So maybe he didn't have a target in mind. He just knew, hey, I know somebody's going to cross that bridge. And when they do, I'm going to cross it too. And who's to say he wasn't under the bridge? Maybe he went under the bridge to get high or something. Maybe it's his special little place. And while he's under the bridge, he looks up and he can see Abby and Libby going over the top of him. And that's when he becomes creepy guy. Pops up like a troll from under the bridge, says some stupid shit, and then walks like he's leaving, and then turns around, and Libby's like, oh shit, this guy's coming back. Brian, I've heard about the white van. I think there is a road down there, but I don't know. That was one of those early pareidolia things. I think that's been debunked. But if you have anything you want to send to me, I'll look at it. Tracking. Yeah, the whole timeline does. We're going to the Brit. We're going to get dropped off at 1:30. End up leaving around 1:30. Get there at 1. Well, they may have planned to be there at 1:30, but who knows? Kelsey's probably still getting ready. She's going to work. Plus, she's going to go see her boyfriend. She's not going to go there all trashed. I live with all girls. So yeah, they may have put out on social media, hey, we'll be there by 1:30. Please don't leave. So then the girls walk over to the Mears from the bridge. They go to the Mears lot and they wait, right? They wait from as long as they can. And then they head out. And when they start heading out, guess who's coming in? The killer walks right by them. So it's as if he knew that they would be there and where they would be. Did he conceal his identity because he knew that they would recognize him? Otherwise? Yeah, I can see the gun in the video. Yeah, he definitely has a gun because I'm pretty sure that's a holster too. So when he was walking by the girls, he probably had his hands in his pocket and his jacket to pull it over the holster. So he has his right hand in his pocket and kind of cupping the holster. And he's walking, makes it to the bridge, doesn't see the girls. Or maybe he did just completely cross the bridge at that point. What if when Betsy Blair walked up to him and saw him on the first platform, she leaves and he just crosses the bridge like he always does? But he didn't want anybody to see him. So I still think it's possible he was under the bridge when the girls were crossing. Yeah, I can agree with that, Rain Dancer. I feel like as he's walking towards them, he kind of flips the hoodie off, then spits out his cigarette and says, "Okay, I'm going to go through with it." Yeah, it's either his hat with the Route 66 symbol on it, and then he has his hoodie over that, or it's the gray beanie. Thinking, Sela says, I was thinking today that most of the defense shenanigans seem to be Baldwin's doing. I wonder if Rosie would have done a better job without him. I think so. But remember, I think it was his idea to do the press release after agreeing to that they were working on a gag order. So Rosie, he's the one that did that. And then also he's the one that leaked everything to what's his name? Woodhouse? Brandon, is it Brandon Woodhouse? I can't remember his name. Yeah, that could be part of his fantasy. Thinking like, oh man, it would be so easy to just trap somebody here. I wonder if he even hides under the bridge sometimes and just watches people. I don't know, Mustang. I think he might be a little crazy. I don't know if he was insane or if he could plead insanity, but I mean, anybody that can eat their own feces is definitely crazy. Even if you're doing it to try to appear crazy, you're still crazy. The fact that you can bring yourself to do that is fucking nasty. You could put me in the hole for 6 months. You ain't going to find me doing anything like that. I don't give a shit. Yeah, and the timeline, it could fall apart. But we have the timestamp from the girls from one of the photos. Yeah, Anna, I don't know. I think they ran after he began assaulting one of the victims. So I think one was attacked and was immobilized right there, incapacitated due to her wounds. And that's when it was time to leave for Libby. And then she was murdered where she was caught. That's why you have the bullet there, because he ran after her, caught up to her, racked the chamber. And remember, he had already racked his first round into the chamber up on the bridge, because apparently you can hear it. And I think I have audio where you can actually hear the gun and the bullet being racked into the chamber. So he did that and it worked successfully up there. Like, oh my God, he's got a gun. All right, now are you going to listen to me? I told you to get down that hill. Get down the hill. They listened to his instructions. He might even have one in his, grabbed and being held. And it most likely is Abby, because in the video you can see her closer to the bridge guy. So he most likely caught up to her, grabbed her, pulled the gun out, and maybe even hit her with it. So now they're complying. They're doing whatever he says. So I think he hurt one, chased the other. That's why you have Libby and the bullet right there, because that's where he caught her. Racked it. She stopped running. Either that or he tried to shoot her. And going through that water, his gun was just all muddy and for whatever reason got the gun jam maybe. But I doubt, it's doubtful. He probably just did it to intimidate her. She stops. And then instantly he just kills her. The bullet's laying right there and she falls right next to it. Then he begins doing all the weird shit. He hears people coming on the bridge. At this point, I think he was over there trying to maybe put the clothing back on Abby, maybe even in the water. And he probably brought Libby's clothes back to the water too to try to get his DNA off of everything. That's probably why we see it in the water. And that's another sign that it was pre-planned. I mean, what's down the hill? The creek. but also the private drive. So yeah, there's still so much that we don't know. And you can be damn sure that the defense team isn't going to leak any of that information out. So it's very strange if you're one of those folks that's out there and you're just waiting on the edge of your seat for another filing from the defense because everything they're putting out is factual and it's breaking news and it's changing the course of this case. Like, you need a reality check. That's like listening to a salesman and going, wow, this really is a great product. I guess I better not read the back. I'm sold. Right? Salesman's only going to tell you all the good things about the product and hush, bro, be real hush hush with any of the issues or side effects. Yeah, this is a great product. It will remove any gunk, but it might kill your dog. Wait, what was that? Nothing. Just sign here. So you're like listening to a salesman pitch and you're on your edge of your seat for every little detail. All of the positives, right? And you have no care in the world if it outweighs the negatives or not. I don't want to hear any of the negatives. Law enforcement is corrupt. I've known it from the beginning. I thought it was Ron Logan. It's definitely not Richard Allen, so it's not him. Thank you, Steve from True Crime Web. Google Map measurement shows 500 feet as the crow flies from BG on bridge image to crime scene. So a direct line is 500 feet. And that's not far at all. Daisy says, I always think there'd be a plea deal too, but now I'm starting to think the state doesn't want to. No, they will. They'll give him a deal. Not for them and not for the state of Indiana, but simply for the family. Anna says, a problem with it being a target attack is the girls' plans were only decided at that last minute. You can't know that for sure. There's no way to know that. And making a determination off of something like that is very dangerous. That's a clear assumption. GP, yes, I believe in my opinion, and Klein is going to come up 100%. He is all part of this, and that's why they took him to Grissom Base, and that's why he took them on the hunt. See, now there's evidence to back that up. We know he was taken into custody same day as the Wabash River search and questioned about the Delphi case. We also know that shortly before that, wife Lilith catfished his ass and was visiting him on a daily basis and had him talking. And there was discussion about throwing a phone into the river. And the probable cause affidavit states that the lost tip narrative was handed over to law enforcement during the 4th week of that search. So think about it. If they find something on the 4th week, they're going to be extremely excited. But they're not going to continue to keep searching and searching and searching. But the search went on for 1 more week. Right? You don't have endless funds. Like, oh, we found what we were looking for, but we're just going to keep searching, No, we'll give you another week to either find the weapon or the cell phone that you're looking for. So maybe they found the cell phone or the weapon. Something that verified what Keegan was saying was true. Because he's a known liar, piece of shit. So yeah, they needed verification. How can you prove it? Well, if you guys find the phone that was thrown in the river, that'll prove it. Or even a blade. Well, if you find a knife with a red handle, that's what was used. That should be proof. Because if he's going around saying, Richard Allen, Richard Allen, Richard Allen, they're like, dude, you're just accusing this guy because you know he was there that day. No, I can prove it. Yeah, Melissa, and I think that's what Holman was referring to when he was talking with Hannah Shakespeare. I just think he gets real defensive. But I think that's what he meant. Like we were protecting the family from hearing that. It's not helpful to our case. It doesn't benefit us, so we don't want to expose them to that. I don't know if it claims the audio goes up until the murders. I have that whole Dr. Oz thing. I don't think it ever says that. But it does mention something about the girls knew something was about to happen. And that's why I think he may have said something like, what are you guys here to meet your underwear model boyfriend? And they're like, what the hell? Like, oh shit. Is this Anthony Schatz? Is this the guy we're here to meet? This old guy? Like, oh no, we're in trouble. Like, oh shit. So it's almost like maybe that's what they meant by they knew it was going to happen. Or they just saw the gun and then they knew that something bad was happening now. Hey, what's up, Cheeks? Yep, wind. If it's in somebody's pocket, it's kind of rubbing up against the fabric. But yeah, wind will mess up the audio pretty bad. That's why all those microphones have those little fuzzy things on the end of them, just to help with that. Yeah, Miracle Hearts. I think it did. Thomas Bruce is a good example of how one man can control. Think about it. Everybody's like, how can Richard Allen control these two girls? He's just a tiny leprechaun. Well, go look at Thomas Jerome Bruce. He's not tall at all. I think he's like 5'8". He's skinny as shit. This dude controlled 3 grown women with just a gun. He told all 3 women, take off your clothes. Pulled them into a back room and said, take off. He told them all, take off all your clothes. One of them said, hell no, I'm not taking off my clothes. And he did not even hesitate. He shot her right in the head. Because he knew that the other 2, after seeing that, would comply. And I think that's what happened. I think he hurt Abby to try to convince Libby to comply. But instead, she took off running. Like, damn, I need to go get help or we're screwed. That's why she went running towards the cemetery. That's where she was dropped off, right over there, in that direction. And she knew damn well that you could get up over that hill. Guarantee those girls have been back there trespassing on Ron's property. Yeah, you had one man attacking an entire household with just a knife. I mean, look at the Apple River stabbings. All he did was extend his hand and he completely removed this guy's intestines from his belly. All he did was stuck his hand out and kind of pulled upward with it. Not even hard. The other guy did most of the work by just leaning towards a knife. It was like cutting butter. That's what he did to those girls. In the most vital part of your body, he attacked them with a sharp knife. What's up, Elaine? It will be interesting to see if he went to the police on the 17th of February, then immediately went to rehab to hide for 1 month. I think he came forward on the 14th. 14th or the 15th. He came forward very early on before they released the bridge guy image. And I think that was released on the 16th or the 17th. Good to see you, Steve. All right, guys, this is going to be our 5-minute warning. I'm going to zip on down to see if I missed anything. Robin B, what's up? Everything just, it is amazing that some other murder cases do not have been taken to court and completed, as Delphi seems so stalling. Yeah, if they were ever going to go to trial, it would be already done. Good to see you, Amelia. JL, welcome in. Alan is 100% part of this. But just to be the devil's advocate, I looked way different at 45 than I do at 51. You hit a midlife frame of mind. Well, he was 45 during the murders. And there is evidence that he instantly changed. You can go as far as 2018 and he has this weird beard. And then before that, he's completely shaven. Early 2016, when he first met his daughter's fiance, he was completely clean shaven, even more so than this. But in 2018, he's looking like a Vinlander. Or even Libby's father. He had a huge goatee and mustache. Maybe that's why he did it. Yeah, I agree with that, Anna. And I think Abby might have looked like a fly in a spider's web. Because it's my understanding she wasn't very comfortable on that bridge. May have even only been her first or second time. So it may have taken her forever to get across there. And if you have a predator watching from a distance and you're kind of seeing this person struggle, that tells you that once she makes it all the way across the bridge, there's no way she's running away from you. You know, kind of like an injured gazelle. Good point, Anna. Hey, Brian, there's no trial until they make the other arrests. What other arrests? Inquisitive, what up? Yeah, sorry, guys. We're about to get out of here. Thank you, Jill. Good to see you. Cheeks, what's up? If he flips, there won't be a trial. I think it's 50-50. I'm hoping for a trial. Everything that I see here tells me that last place Richard Allen wants to be is in a trial. And I don't think he's going to put his wife and his daughter through that. That's why he's trying everything he can to get off without going to a trial. Let's do everything you can but the trial. And then when you can't do anything else, get me the best deal possible. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, 100%. Cheek says it's not suspicious in any way that they would interview witnesses multiple times. That's what they do. Every case has that. That's why it takes forever. If you guys watch that 2018 Comic Con with Jerry Holman, where he says, it took us a long time to kind of figure things out. He even says, well, one of the witnesses most likely was describing Mike Patty. Well, remember, Mike Patty was out on the trails around 5:30 ish. So, in order to pin that down, you have to schedule an interview with somebody, right? They're like, "Well, I can't see you today. I'm free in 3 days. I'll come down in 3 days, or you can come visit me in 3 days." So, law enforcement goes and visits them, takes the interview, receives some new information. Hold on. Oh, sorry, guys. I have to go. That is all my time. I'll see you guys again real soon. Everybody take care of yourselves. Peace.